Hey everyone, what's up? I'm Jamie. Welcome back to Control Freak. Today we're going to be looking at Ion Fury on the Nintendo Switch. Developed by VoidPoint and published by 3D Realms. It's kind of like a Duke Nukem era game with a female lead. I have strong feelings about other aspects of the game, such as voice, story, graphics, whatnot. But we're here to talk about controls. So the interesting thing about this is that it is a retro style game, so you would think that your frame rate would be consistent. It wouldn't be super heavy on the hardware. We're playing it on the Switch, which is also interesting. We're going to be playing obviously in docked mode, so it's going to be at its peak performance. Because frame rate has a lot to do with how responsive the controls feel. And they've stuck gyro controls in, which is going to be a big thing on this channel. We're going to be talking about that a lot. And initially when the game came out, they had the same bug that a lot of developers do, where if you invert the sticks, I play with inverted control sticks. Grew up with the Nintendo 64 and prior to that. If you set your sticks to inverted, your gyro is also inverted, which is a real problem because that's not correct at all. So they patched it. And then I got to play, and I really got to sink my teeth into it. I'm near the end of the game, but we're going to start at the beginning so that I can just show you the controls, the options, the experience, and what it's like. So let's have a look. So what we got here is a title screen. Let's look at the options. So looking at the controls, we have select layout. So you can do pro layout, standard layout, which I don't get to map my buttons, which I don't like. There's something about my buttons. Pro layout is what I use. The difference is that you have jump on the bumper instead of on the B button, so you can jump and aim at the same time. Pro layout, auto aim. You have always, hit scan only, and never. I don't know what hit scan only means. I know what hit scan is. I don't know why you'd want hit scan versus always, and I really wish that they would give just a description of some of these options for people who don't know what their strange terminology is. Always run, yes and no. Equip pickups if new and never. Aim sensitivity X and Y, pretty standard. Dead zone left, dead zone right. This is awesome. I really commend them for sticking this in. So the dead zone is the amount of space on the stick that you need to press it before it detects input. I really like my dead zone almost as small as possible so that my tiny minute thumb movements count. That's just me. And giving it as an option is the way to make sure that everyone's happy. So with minimum dead zone, 0%, I'm able to use the smallest movements and they count, which I love. Inverted aiming, motion enabled, motion controls, motion sensitivity, motion control sensitivity, motion access roll or yaw. I do roll. It's totally depending on how you want to move your controller. Invert view, on or off. Invert turn, on or off. I leave them both off. And then in display setup, the only other options that we have is field of view that might affect things. I just leave it at 90. So let's go ahead and start a new game. Let's do a chapter select. Let's do level 1. And I normally do this level of difficulty, but let's do this one just so I'm not constantly dying by random shots. That I have strong feelings about that. Don't worry about it. So first thing we're going to do with all our control settings is get a sense of the frame rate.
You're lucky I can't fit
And
a grenade launcher in my bag.
There's kind of a problem, right? Interestingly, you can input the Konami code to have it uncap the frame rate. So I don't know if it's uncapped right now. I don't think it is. Let's try up, down, left, right, B8. Max frame rate 30. That was uncapped. Left, right, B8. Max frame rate 99. Sure. Okay, so what we have here is we're looking at this whole city and frame rate's struggling. I have my right stick and I have my gyro doing the same thing. So I can constantly course correct when my gyro starts to drift because I'm constantly using my thumb, and it's up to me to decide when to use each. That was gyro.
One good spill deserves another. Your blood for my drink.
one minor chloride. So, feels good.
Got it, right.
That feels horrible. These bombs suck. Because you can't throw them up. Like, it's really hard to throw them up. Throwing them forward is fine. So the biggest problem here is frame rate. You can see how inconsistent it is. If there's ever a Switch Pro, I'm going to want to try that because I really, really do like these controls. They gave me plenty of options and they feel great. So let me just play for a bit and stop talking.
Dodge this. One good spill deserves another. Your blood for my drink. Oh, I don't think that's covered under warranty. Machine. Oh my God, the quarterback is toast. Worthless consumer models.
And that frame rate.
Say my name.
The inconsistent frame rate is a real problem.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Dance! Gotcha.
So one of the things about Ion Fury that I don't like is, in addition to the inconsistent frame rate, is the auto aim. So the auto aim is not great. There's a lot of scenarios where your bullets go right past the heads and bodies of the enemies. And if auto aim's on, that should never happen. You should never be able to blast right over the shoulder or right past the forehead of an enemy. That means that you were so close that your shot almost hit them. So unlike something like Doom, where the auto aim, and Ziggurat and these other games, where the auto aim complements the controls, this one oftentimes it's very frustrating, especially when you have an inconsistent frame rate and you swore that you got the shot, but the game says nope, too bad, it doesn't count. Overall, Ion Fury is fun to play. It's just that inconsistent frame rate, that's the problem. I really applaud them for the control options, especially with Dead Zone, and obviously fixing the problem with the inverted stick equals the inverted motion controls. And their interpretation of the gyro data is pretty good. All of it's just hampered by the frame rate. But even then, it can still be a real blast to play. If you get really, really good with those gyros and that stick, you just saw, it's real fun to just go through and blast everything. So control-wise, Ion Fury, pretty good. A couple things hold it back from being excellent, but definitely one of the better games implementing gyro controls and controls on the Switch. So that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more games as we do a deep dive into the controls, the UI, UX, and what makes them intuitive and natural. Thanks.